Gonna go with yes.
Yes.
Okay, good, because
Yes.
we're live.
We're live
Hi,
now.
everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to inauguration all over the world. It
Yay.
is what you need to know. We had inauguration celebrations. As a matter of fact, there's still going on a concert tonight. And I think we started the concert with Stephen Hill. Hello, Myra J. Hello, Stephen Hill. Welcome to Wednesday.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Happy
Sybil.
Inauguration Day.
Merry New President's Day.
Merry New
Oh,
President's Day.
all right. Okay. The celebration.
Thank you. Somebody told me we were supposed to celebrate. It was a party.
Yes, indeed.
I live in a dry house, so
What are you allowed to drink?
oh, good morning, everybody. And the festivities have begun.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Myra,
Heimlich.
do we need to?
You okay? Hi. You all right? Myra.
I saw something funny. I'm sorry.
A little bubbly up the nose.
I just saw something very funny. That's okay. Good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Please continue.
Are all your clothes on, or is that something funny?
Boy, but are my thighs wet? Okay, that's all.
So let us talk about today, the long-awaited inauguration. We've been waiting since November 7th. Well, actually longer than that, but officially since November 7th, when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were announced as the winners of the 2020 presidential election. And now here we are, January 20th, and the day has come. The man who was in the White House left early, didn't want to participate in the festivities. That was fine. He left a little note and a list of people that he was pardoning and commuting their sentences. And
shout out to Kodak Black and Lil Wayne. All of a sudden, that picture Lil Wayne took don't seem so crazy now, does it? That picture he took don't seem that crazy.
The Trump supporter, huh? And congratulations to Mayor Kwame. I'm not sure how the people of Detroit are feeling because it's kind of mixed. But his sentence was commuted after serving 7, almost 8 years of a 28-year sentence. He still does have to pay some fines, but as far as we know, if he hasn't been already, will be released very soon. And so that was the last thing. Everybody expected the list to come out yesterday at some point, and of course they came out. They kind of dribbled out late last night into this morning. And one of the other people who was expected and then wasn't expected, and was expected and wasn't expected, was his former strategist, and so, but not Rudy Giuliani. Nobody named Trump on the list, and much to his dismay, Joe Exotica of Tiger King fame was left hanging. I mean, he had the limo outside. They had hair and makeup waiting for him so that he could make it. He really did. The news people were here in Fort Worth because that's where he is in prison, and he was really expecting that to come through. One of the really interesting things.
Money.
But the Bannon thing, the Bannon thing was that was about as much of a mystery as like, oh, are Dave and Maddie going to get together on moonlighting? Like it was always going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was always going to happen.
That was no shock.
Yeah, at all.
I'm turning up my volume because Steve sounds a little low to me, so I don't know if it's me before.
He's heard that before.
First time I've ever heard that. Stop screaming in my ear like a little girl. I'm sorry.
So I sent this, and I'm looking down. Yes, I'm looking down, and I'm not being rude. I'm looking for something that I sent out earlier today. This is regarding the commutation of Kwame Kilpatrick. This is from the White House. President Trump commuted the sentence of the former mayor of Detroit, Kwame Malik Kilpatrick. The commutation is strongly supported by prominent members of the Detroit community: Alveda King, Alice Johnson, Diamond and Silk, Pastor Paula White, Peter Carmel. Stop me if you have a question. Peter Carmel.
No, once it was Diamond and Silk, I was like, oh,
right. I was like,
that's what he's done for the blacks.
right. I'm like, really?
That's what got me too. I was like, what? Wait, who? And it was, Diamond and Silk. Alice Johnson, of course, the woman who was supported by Kim Kardashian, and she was pardoned. And she was a part of that group who supported his commutation. For Diamond and Silk, that's where I.
So, what do they do now? Do they become what, polyester and cotton and?
Myra, they have a show on Newsmax.
Newsmax, of course, the place that, along with OAN and where all the people who used to watch Fox are going now. Everybody used to watch Fox.
Okay.
Over the Newsmax.
They have a show. More than I can say for myself, but you know what I did see today. I don't know if this is true, but apparently some of the QAnon people were watching the up to the point of inauguration, saying, "Hold on, they're going to get arrested." Trump said that they're getting arrested, and right when they inaugurated Vice President Harris, the site went crazy. What? She didn't get arrested? Have we been lied to? It was like all of a sudden reality hit. Well, let's see if they inaugurate Biden. What? He's president? Wait a minute.
Oh my God! Please, I hope there were cameras rolling.
They said up until the last minute.
They were hoping.
They were hoping. Yes. So now according to this, they were kind of imploding and turning on each other, like, no, because you said QAnon said that they were going to get arrested right before the inauguration, and that's what we were waiting for. And I just thought that was freaking hilarious. I'm like,
wow.
What?
They said they were going to arrest. They said Santa Claus was going to do it. And Rudolph the door, like, what's the news?
See, they heard it too.
Rudolph mad right now. That's Rudolph.
Yeah, they heard it.
Not happening to me, they're holding the first. Right now, they're holding the first news briefing, which I just had to push record on because I got to come back to that.
Yeah, I want to see that as well. Jen Psaki is the press secretary, and so she's holding that first news briefing. He's already sworn in people who do not have to go through the whole confirmation hearing process. He did that a little while ago, and of course, Vice President Harris performed her first official duty of swearing in 3 members of the United States Senate, the 2 gentlemen of Georgia, and the man who takes her place.
Yes. It's official now. It's official.
Yeah. So let's go back to this morning, or when you all first started watching and getting into it. How did it look to you? What were your feelings as you watched this kind of play out throughout the day?
So it's interesting. That's an interesting question, because I would like to, on the count of 3, I would like everybody who's watching us to write this in the comments, and on the count of 3, I want you to say what it is. Okay. On the count of 3, what color was Kamala's outfit? 1, 2, 3. Purple. Okay. Yeah. On some TVs it looked blue. Like on CNN, it was blue all day to me.
Blue.
On Fox, it was the dopest purple I'd ever seen.
It looked blue on my TV, and when one of the commentators said, yes, she wore purple in honor of Shirley Chisholm, I said, oh, they made a mistake. And then somebody else said purple. And I started texting my friends, and everybody else was saying that it was purple. And they said, what color do you see it? I said, purple. Yeah. But I swear it was blue. It was blue on my TV.
Lester had blue. Sharon had periwinkle. A lot of people had purple. Maria had blue. Like it was the greatest visual stunt in the world.
I actually took a picture of it, texted to a friend of mine, and she said, "Wow, this really is blue." I'm looking at purple on my TV.
Yes.
On my TV, it was the most beautiful royal blue.
Right.
That's how it
I
looked.
get
Yeah.
it. Well, one thing's for sure, the Senate is purple right now.
Okay. Oh, good morning, everybody. A nice even mix.
Well, back to your question. So I'm gonna back it up to last night. Last night, I actually thought about a lot of the media was going, it's so sad because usually it's hundreds of thousands of people who come and celebrate, blah, blah, blah. And I said, you know what? With the climate of the nation, no, this is perfect. Because can you imagine with the tone of the nation, if there were hundreds of thousands of Democrats there to celebrate and they could not control all those crowds and all those parties and people everywhere?
Yeah.
It would have been a totally different thing. So I said, everything happens for a reason. They put a lock on it, shut it down. We had a very peaceful transition, and what's his face couldn't leave fast enough. He was on this morning, and the minute he said something about the China virus, I said, "Oh, this is the perfect time to brush my teeth." So I got up and left the room, so I wouldn't even have to hear his final few words, and was just happy to see them. It's like bad company. You ever have somebody just come and overstay? They stay at your house, and you can yes, and you're just happy to see them. You're like, okay, all right, and they just keep talking. You're like, okay, and finally you slam the door, and it's like, whew. That's why I said we can exhale now. They gone.
I'm gonna miss them. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna miss them. This is gonna be boring. I mean, for all the right.
It's supposed to be boring.
Right. That's the thing. Like, so I'm glad it's going back to boring. But for excitement and for things to talk about and things to make fun of, this is going to be it's going to be a challenge for a while. I'm glad about that. I'll be clear. I don't want anybody to say anything else except I am gonna kind of miss Melania a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you a little bit. I'm gonna miss Melania, but other than that, I'm glad to go.
Just watch Rocky and Bullwinkle. I keep telling you. Natasha.
She's Natasha.
Natasha.
All day.
Melania could not get on that plane fast enough.
I know, and change her clothes.
I know, right? She kept turning. Donald kept turning around, and she was like, "No, play it. We're walking this way. Like, we're walking this way. Like, what? We're out of here."
This way, because my attorney is waiting for me on the other side.
and Letitia is waiting for you on the other side. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Shameless plug for my own Instagram. If you'd like to see something cute and humorous on Instagram about their departure, feel free to go to my IG, where a lot of Donald's dance moves are synced up to "Never gonna be president now."
Right.
Never gonna be president now.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
very
I
nice.
know. I kept singing, "You about to lose your job."
Should have done that.
The world being as crazy as it is, do you think that we'll see Donald Trump in a political role again?
No. To be honest, I think he's done. He doesn't want to be done, but one, he doesn't have the power, which was his main high. Like, I have power, give me power and money. And two, just like I said, QAnon is starting to turn. A lot of these groups now will start to, just like I said, hate turns on itself. They will start to implode and blame each other as to why. And they're trying to say, okay, we're going to stay back and come out some other time. But they had their moment in hell. And it's over.
We've had that moment in hell too.
Yeah.
So to me, it depends on a few things. If Fox, who has already lost records amount of viewership since then, if they are willing to keep losing that viewership, then there's a possibility that Trump will just fade. Taking away his Twitter was the wrongest right thing that ever happened, right? Because if he had Twitter, the answers would be completely different. If he's allowed back on Twitter or finds a platform, that answer is different because say what you want to. Donald Trump got the second most votes ever in a presidential election, and the passion behind those people is not. It will go away, but it will go away in his absence. So as long as he stays absent, as long as he doesn't have access to Twitter or Fox News, then he won't be a factor. But if he finds a platform, he will be a factor, full stop, because he will find a way to be a factor in the midterms. He will find a way to be a factor in the midterms.
So what do you think about the notion that he's going away to start his own news platform, his own media platform?
I want him to do that. Yeah. Because I think that's just gonna blow smooth the F up. Yep. Do that.
I'm with Myra. I want to do that because he will lose all of his money and all his financiers' money doing that. He cannot sustain it. It's the barriers to entry to starting a new channel like that are far, far too high even now. Yep. So I don't think. Look, if Parler is thinking they're going to take their $1 billion business out of business, how's Donald Trump going to start his? Now there may be a partnership down the line that we haven't seen yet, but he's going to try to find a way to be relevant, even though he said, even though he told all of us have a nice life.
Yeah.
If you don't know, when he was leaving from the airport, he said, "Have a nice life."
Yeah.
I haven't heard that since my 12th grade girlfriend.
And did she add, "in spite of yourself"?
What? Really?
So Stephen Hill, when you saw him leave this morning, and you had all of these other thoughts, were you dancing and singing in celebration beyond the Instagram post that you had?
The celebration didn't start, honestly, until I saw all the glory and tradition that I didn't realize I missed until I saw it after 4 years. Right? To see the fraternity. And I can't wait till it's a fraternity and a sorority, but to see what is currently the fraternity of presidents, to see presidents together, really laughing with each other and interacting, even if they were bitter political rivals at the time, was something that's the first thing where I celebrated, where I was like, and then of course when the celebration was short-lived, and tell me if anybody else caught this.
Okay.
So when Kamala, two things. When Kamala was I said checked in. When she was sworn in, first of all,
checked in.
Sotomayor. I'm mispronouncing your name for the rest of my life. Sotomayor. Sotomayor.
I know. And I thought for sure that really showed her age or her nervousness. I'm not sure which. Either she didn't practice, she was nervous, or something. But for her to call her Kamala, it was a little grating for me too. Not a little, it was a lot. I took offense to that.
Watch the eyebrow raise, because Kamala was like,
Kamala.
Kamala.
Right. Yeah. Sonia.
Sonja.
Sotomayor.
Sotomayor. Yeah, I was off put by that. But can I tell you, it is petty. But by this time, even and God bless him, and all respect to Reverend Al, but he still calls her Kamala Harris. She does. Apparently she does, because she said, Kamala.
Kamala. Yeah.
She really did. She was like, let me tell you how to pronounce my name.
Yeah, if you look at her lips, she kind of said, Kamala. Like she kind of like the B word, do the B word at her. Kamala. Whoa.
Sister Justice. But can I tell you the moment for me, the very first moment?
What's that?
I was watching all of this stuff when Michelle Obama came out. Oh my God. It was like, and she had this incredible outfit on, the color, everything. And it was like, oh, I miss her so much.
I know.
Yo, she might as well just
And the only thing missing were the fans on the side, but there was enough wind outside as she went outside her hair, and as it was cascading down her back. And Barack was like,
yeah, I got this.
Yep.
That was funny.
Yep.
Their own theme song that was playing in their heads as they were walking down the street, down the steps and everything, and it was just like this one shot of her. It was a front shot of her, and it was with the pants outfit and everything, and then it was the back shot of them and the hair, and them holding hands and walking. I was like, oh my God,
everything.
How do you follow that?
Dude,
other than to become the first black vice president.
That's my point. I was like, she might as well just worn white to a wedding. Like that's how disrespectful that was. And she knew it the entire time. I'm like, hey, I got the solid color memo, but you didn't know I was doing it like this, right?
Okay. And poor Dr. Biden is going, hey, over here, I'm first lady now,
And speaking, and I have the utmost respect for Dr. Jill Biden. I really like her. But after the ceremony, did anybody else notice as they were walking and being presented the inaugural gifts? Mm-hmm. I said, Dr. Jill's feet hurt. I can look at you. Did you notice that? Her feet hurt. And later on, when they got out the limo to actually walk down Pennsylvania Avenue, I started cracking up because she had different shoes on. Yeah. She had on light beige shoes. Mm-hmm. And inside the Capitol, she had on blue shoes. Mm-hmm. I said,
her outfit. Yep.
And I kept expecting Kamala, because y'all ain't going about the dog me. Kamala. I kept expecting her to just whip out a pair of Converse. I was like, please pull out a pair of Converse.
I'm sorry. Do you see my name? Do you see my name tonight? Do you see my name tonight?
Oh yeah. Here. Let me hold your flat.
Let me hold your flats. Yo. No, I never thought I'd ever hear my vice president say this, but I'm sure she said it, and I'm glad that she did. Damn, I forgot about all this walking. I'd have worn different shoes.
Yep.
But she wore them things all day. She wore them things to the cemetery.
She committed to the bit.
Committed to the bit.
Yep, absolutely. And Jay and I were having this conversation about somebody else whose feet were hurting and something we were watching last night, and I don't want to say, but it is something. Okay. Last night, Jay and I were having phone club watching Joy Reid's interview with Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and they were sitting, for most of the interview. And then Joy was walking, and I did a Yolanda Starks White because I was like, I wonder if she's having hip problems because there just doesn't seem to be. And Jay called me just at that moment as I was texting him saying, is she okay? Because he said, it's the shoes.
I'm telling you.
Most of us who wore heels, and I'm not included, we have become so accustomed to flats and tennies and Uggs and what have you, that it looked very awkward in watching her. And the same thing was with Dr. Biden today, Myra. I agree.
Yeah. Her dogs were barking.
Yeah.
Her dogs were barking. And I'm like, look, we just need to make it okay, women. We need to make it okay to say, okay, these are for show. Now these are for real. And then take all the little pictures because I'm going to take them off and put on something that's comfortable.
Right.
So
I'm gonna bring my running shoes.
That's right.
Don't say, oh, she never should have wore those shoes with that. Helper, I wore the shoes I was supposed to wear with it, but now I got to walk 6 miles. I'm getting ready to put these tennis shoes on.
Right.
And make that the norm. Make it the norm.
Yeah.
So because
one of the most genius things ever was Tyler Perry's opening of his studio. And
yeah.
this was the opportunity, for women to wear, all of the most expensive shoes they own. And yes, some of us did buy some of the most expensive shoes we'll ever own in order to go. But at that night, they also provided ballet flats
Yeah, yeah.
in really nice bags, and so we could go and get those and wear those after we made the walk in and did all of that. There was more walking to do.
Right. At his first studio, that they did the same thing. This is when clogs were real popular.
Mhm.
So we all, just like you said, we all did the fabulous walk in. Paparazzi, snap, 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 snap. Once we got inside the door, they handed you some shoes. Not one woman in there kept their heels on.
Right.
Everybody took those heels off, put on clogs.
Yeah.
And this is an after 5. We have on evening gowns,
Mhm.
dripping with zirconiums and everything. And everybody put clogs on.
So what else struck you all? Was there anything else? Because here's the other thing, and it's very petty on my part, but I said this to Ward White. Joe Biden needed a cap on today. I wanted him, and Jim Clyburn was the only one that I saw that I recognized that had a baseball cap covering his head. But it was cold. It was starting to snow, and he's 78 years old. I don't want anything to happen to him. And he just looks so fragile. He's very fit. He's in good shape, but he's very frail. And I didn't want him to, have to take his bed.
You want him to have a skull cap on, like Marvin Gaye?
One of my favorite hats is a Scully with a patch on it says inauguration, and it says Obama Biden inauguration.
Okay.
I'm gonna be the bad guy here.
Okay.
I'm using that role. Now that we're past January 20th, 12 noon, do we really? How? Before it was at a level 10. You better stick around, put you in saran wrap, keep you. Now that we're past, we're maybe at a 3. If you don't wear a cap, it's okay. No,
you can't. I'm not there.
Okay.
As much as I want to see a sister in the Oval Office, I'm not there yet.
I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm less concerned now than if it happened yesterday.
Okay.
Well, you know what the special moment was for me, I think, actually, I did not realize how uptight I was until she was officially sworn in as vice president.
Did you cry?
Yes, I did.
I did too. I did. That was really quite emotional for me.
Yeah. Plus, it was so cool when her and Michelle Obama did a real sister girl thing when she was like, and Michelle was like,
okay,
you girlfriend, that and then actually when President Biden was sworn in, and it was almost like you could hear the nation just take a collective. Ooh.
Yeah.
We got past that moment, and I kept looking around, going, okay, I don't hear no rat-a-tat-tat. I don't hear no cheering, or no, I don't hear no, booing in the background. So I was like, okay,
nobody said, oh, no,
right, none of that.
There was no AKA call. There was no. I was waiting for that. I admit I was. I figured there's a microphone.
Yeah,
it's a high enough frequency. There's a high enough vibration on that. I thought. I would thought they would get there. It did not.
Actually, I really didn't think anything was going to happen in DC. I was more worried, perhaps something else around the country, but pretty much, I guess it was crickets, because you haven't really heard about any major disturbance, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. So maybe cooler heads will prevail. Yeah,
that was a great thing. This is great, Michelle. Michelle, this is so wonderful. She said, Michelle on Facebook said she stood like she was taking the oath with her. I I love that. I absolutely love that. I was boohooing so much, and that I couldn't even stand. But and the dog is looking at me like, what's wrong with her? But it was. I love that, Michelle. I absolutely love it because we all are so engaged in all of this now, and
Let me just
we're
tell Michelle. I was so into the ceremony. I have a big screen TV. I have my iPad out because it takes better pictures, and I'm taking pictures, and I'm standing there, and I'm videoing. And then when the pastor or whoever would say, "You may be seated," and I would go, "Oh, okay." I go sit down. After I did it like 3 times, I went, "After you at home, what are you doing?" Every time they said, "You may be seated," I would run back to the couch and sit.
I love it.
Okay, we have to be seated now.
There was a moment last night. Did you all see the ceremony honoring the coronavirus victims
Yeah.
at the Lincoln Memorial Pool?
I saw part of it I saw when the nurse sang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Nurse Key out of Detroit. That also when she sang "Amazing Grace," and then the great Yolanda Adams sang
Yes.
"Hallelujah."
Mhm.
That's when the tears first started last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
And then today with her, with the vice president being sworn in, and it was just glorious. It was just glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm,
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for my mom because it's look, a woman is vice president, and right. I think it's important to say a woman, and this time a Black woman was 1st, right? It's not just a Black woman; it is a woman. It's the first woman ever in this position. I'm so glad that I love hearing about the joy. I'm I'm enjoying the joy that you went through. My mom, I know, thoroughly enjoyed it, even though she wasn't a Kamala fan. I think she's even reluctantly like, okay, I'm glad she's vice president.
right.
And it's just, I was having a talk with my faithful ward, who was here before, which is why, it's all messy. That's why you see only the top of the apartment. But having a conversation with him, like, there's people, anybody who's 4 years old or under will never know a time when there wasn't a woman who could be vice president, a Black woman who could be vice president. Right. And so it means all sorts of spectacular things, and it's going to pay forward.
Yeah. I also wondered, do you think Ice Cube said today was a good day?
So funny. So funny. Depends on whether he had to use his AK.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
Myra, that's brilliant. Absolutely, it was a good day.
One thing, this will be the last thing we tell you about this, because what I thought could be kind of awesome pissed me off, and tell me if it pissed you off.
Okay.
So I love that Pence chose to come for the continuity as opposed to go out to join Andrews. I thought that was fantastic. What I had a problem, what I thought was going to be a great moment was not, because his face mask said Vice President of the United States. Now, what I expected him to do was, in a show of grace, like when Kamala was sworn in, he would take off that mask and put on another one. He wore that thing the entire time. I found that to be disrespectful. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but I literally was looking to go like, he's going to take off this vice president mask. He's going to, right? And he didn't. And I was like,
no, he didn't.
I appreciate the move coming there, but you went out a punk sucker.
and yet she still rose above it as she and her husband accompanied them out and saw them on their way.
Yeah.
I am so suspect of Mike Pence because I always felt as though from the time he was selected to be Trump's running mate, that his thing was, I want to be president, and I'm going to do everything that it takes to be president. I will be the biggest suck up. Hoover ain't got nothing on me. I will suck for the next 4 years. And then these last 2 weeks when they were like, well, Mike Pence really rose above, I'm like, because he's looking at that. When I run in 2024, that's all I'm thinking, that's all this is about.
They'll never speak again. They'll never speak again. Trump and Pence will never speak
Oh,
again.
no,
No
They
doubt.
will never speak again.
Right,
No.
right. Because Pence wants to be. To me,
I-
this was all about. I literally when Biden was standing up there and everything, I said, "Watch Pence." He's going, "Okay, I'm supposed to stand here when I'm president, and then I do this when I'm president, and then I do this." I say he is studying every move because he wants to see himself there in 2024.
He's measuring his drapes.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And the other one is Mitch McConnell. There's nothing that Mitch McConnell could ever do or say to curry favor with the current administration. That it was too little, too late, and it will always be that with me. I don't care what he does. Right now, working with Schumer, everything in the Senate, he has done everything to ruin this country and to ruin and to lift up Donald Trump, and he cannot.
And why
He might
was
as-
Ted Cruz even there?
And that was another one.
Yeah.
That was
Why
another
why
one.
was he there?
That was one who was measuring the drapes too, thinking,
Yeah.
in 2024, he's going to have his little,
He
little-
best to be measuring the drapes down at Bed Bath and Beyond, because that's about as far as he gonna get. Okay, there's no freaking way he's getting anywhere near the White House.
and Myra, have another one of those.
Okay.
And
Oh, you were kidding?
no. As a matter of fact, I'll send you a bottle of whatever it is you're drinking.
Can we have a problem with Mitch McConnell after the impeachment though? Can we wait until then to have a problem with him? I really want, because we want him right now. We want him, and he's willing to come to our side right now for this thing. Make it transactional.
I don't think he is.
You don't think he'll vote against? You don't think he'll vote against Trump?
I'm not sure. I think.
100%.
Okay.
You
All right.
sorry. What you said?
I'll bet you a bottle of what Myra's drinking.
Okay. All right. I can get some muscatel. Cool. We're good.
How old are you?
Yeah, like what do you say? Thunderbirds and Boone's Farm? What do you think I'm drinking here?
So the other point in which I was so very proud was our poet laureate, Amanda Gorman.
Baby? Baby sister turned it out. She was so good, so eloquent. She was, what a wordsmith. Very good.
Yeah, 22 years old, a student at Harvard, raised by a single mom, and already the youngest poet laureate for what was it, for Los Angeles or California?
Los Angeles, California.
When she was 16, and now is a national poet laureate, as they announced today. Just an amazing young woman, and her words, as you said, a wordsmith, a storyteller, and telling her story, acting it out in such a way. Even I know Dr. Maya Angelou had to be sitting up there on cloud nine, just very, very proud.
As we grieved, we grew. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Come on,
as we grieved, we grew. Like, wait, what?
come on. It's The Hill We Climb is the poem that she wrote, and she had not written the end until January 6th.
No.
She saw what was happening, and she came to the closure of her poem. And,
Got my final stanza.
and once again, a credit to Dr. Jill Biden, a fan of hers, and she was the one who suggested to the inaugural committee that she be a part of the program.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah.
While this feels so awesome and I feel like a back to form to us, I'm really hoping that the 74 or 75 million, we can truly find a way to come around, not necessarily have them come to where we are, but find out how we can understand each other better, so that, look, understanding is, to me, it's everybody. Understanding is the thing. So, but we can't forget that, like, wow, this is a great day for us. There's 74. I mean, something of them who are really have a very different reaction than we have, and unlike, the predecessor, 45, who made his passion to separate. I'm hoping, even though he made it more difficult to come back together, that we can understand those 74 million and not just dismiss them, or not just think they're all the people who stormed through the Capitol. We would be mistaken if we did that. So it's going to be a hard road, but Biden said, I think
if anybody can do it, it's Joe Biden.
Yes,
because it's in his heart to do it. It's in him. It's ingrained. And as well as the political finesse that he has created and has built up in almost 50 years in this business. Yeah. And as he said, I believe to do away or to turn the page on this uncivil war. And civility is really important to him. And he's willing to go as far as he needs to, or as far as he feels he can go, in order to engender some sort of understanding. And I believe that if there's anybody who could do it, he's well, not only is he all we got, but he is the one for that job at this time.
Yeah. I know when all of the nominees were all vying for the position, and I always felt like Biden. I know he's old and he was old school, and they were like, people were like, no, we need something fresh. Considering how everything went down in the end, I'm so glad that it's him, because this is not the time for on-the-job training.
Right.
This is not a way to.
And I thought about that, Myra, and it is a great point. And I thought about that when I watched Mayor Pete on the stage with his husband, and the fact that he still has so much work to do in order to create those coalitions that he lacked while he was running, that he lacked while he was mayor of South Bend. And so you're right. There's so much that President Biden brings to this in terms of his knowledge, his history, and his work ethic as well. That a lot of folks did. And I love Andrew Yang. I love what he was offering, and of course I was day one with Kamala Harris, but everything just worked out. I think
absolutely.
And he even has friends overseas, because we need to mend over there as well, our international ties. And he already has relationships with a lot of those people.
Did you hear this? And I just heard it in passing, that the nation of China has said that Mike Pence and Peter Navarro and some other members of the Trump administration, they can never set foot on any part of China ever again.
Wait, what?
Really?
Today, yes.
I didn't hear
that. They said that the Secretary of State Pompeo, it was Navarro and some other members, because of the way that they have characterized the country and the continent of China, that none of the Chinese properties, Hong Kong, Macau, none of that, they can't ever go. They are personas or persons non grata.
Okay.
But can they ever own anything made in China? I think that would be more powerful.
Well, then they're out of luck.
Now we're talking. You can't have anything that was made in China.
I want to see my name on anything you own. We'd all be out of luck in Myra.
Pretty much, we'd all be sitting here just butt naked, sitting outside in the dirt.
You certainly would not be able to find a cap for Joe Biden's head.
And we need that. We want them to have a covering. Somebody was asking about Amy Klobuchar, saying that she was vivacious.
She was so smiley. She was so vivacious. She was so bubbly.
Gracious.
She was so happy.
She was.
I'm so happy to be the very first person to introduce the President of the United States, Joseph R. Biden. She was so.
She's. You know what? I may not agree with a lot of the things that she did in her earlier life, and with that young man who was sent to prison for life in a case that that was a part of under her purview. when she was a state attorney. But I think that she's gonna be a big help to him in the United States Senate, just as I think she might even be a bigger help to him than even Chuck Schumer is, because of her ability to work with both sides. And I think that's going to be a big help to both the president and the vice president.
Well, she can definitely enunciate better than him.
Stop.
Enunciator? We need an enunciator. Someone get Klobuchar. Get Klobuchar over here. Say some words.
Klobuchar.
Biden's, I just want to say Biden's speech had a line in it that I treasure, right? Getting things done not by an example of our power, but by the power of our example. I'm a sucker for alliteration and word flipping. I'm a sucker for alliteration and Amanda killed the alliteration, right? And Biden had the word flip, not by an example of our power, but the power of our example. I'm like, you go, boy, you go.
And it wasn't one of those soaring speeches,
right?
But it was power in the words, right? It wasn't, one that, it wasn't even like the 10,000 points of light or whatever George H.W. Bush said, or, all of those other things that have come about and as we have studied the inaugural speeches. But there was everything about this day, with the exception of, the shoes and not putting a hat on his head and things like that. Everything about this day seemed to work in concert for good. Even the behavior of those Republicans that in the back of their head, in the back of their minds, they're going, can't wait to get these guys, a little snidely whiplash or whatever. Well, Myra had the Boris and Natasha. I thought it was
I like it.
But Elijah guy, Shane.
I thought there was G. Robinson.
There was.
Okay.
I was mixing.
Okay.
My comic, my anime.
Klobuchar, could you come and announce it?
Okay, Myra.
Yes.
You have one more sip.
One more sip.
One more sip.
One more. Okay.
One more sip.
I will.
The soundtrack for the day really goes back to you on November 7th and Brand New Day. Can you feel it?
Can you feel a brand new day? Can you feel a brand new day?
That's what I posted on Facebook today.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw people, again, we feel, and this will be the common theme. We feel this way now. This is the way the other side felt 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We've got to find a way where we can all on this day 4 years from now go like, okay, I'm happy. I'm not as happy as the other side, but I'm not devastated.
Right.
As long as these polar opposites polarity is happening, it's just not going to be good for the country. And 50-50 or 51-50 is what it is. But what that does is make every single senator so important, right? And it leaves you open for, I'm not going to vote for this unless I get this. I think 50-50 is one of the more dangerous things that could be out here.
And Steve, to add to that, remember the name Joe Manchin, because Joe Manchin is going to make a big difference because he is the most conservative of the Democrats. Yeah. He represents West Virginia. And he is so much more likely to vote with the Republicans on a lot of these issues than he is to work to side with the Democrats of his own party.
Which state?
I think it's West Virginia, right?
Oh yeah.
Joe Manchin. And
the other, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know the other. And the other senator is a Republican from that state, more than likely. Would be my guess. From West Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I want to be. I'm guessing this.
Yolanda's showing me something. Let's see what Erica says. A bottle.
No.
Hold on, wait. Myra, do you know what a Cash App is? Do you know what a Cash App is?
Hell yeah, and a Zelle too. Now, look, shit, Big Daddy, you want to send some money? I can give you all my apps. Look here. We talking about making some money moves.
Steven?
I can't.
Yeah, I'm about to
I
say.
have nothing.
Okay.
I as well as everybody else, since everybody has them on today, I'm clutching the pearls.
Except we can't see them, but I believe you. I believe you.
Under this table.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys, I am so glad this couldn't have happened on a better day than to have this discussion and this recap of the day's events with you all. I so appreciate you. I spent most of the day, as you did and as most people did, watching the events, but recapping it with you has been a blast, and I hope people have enjoyed it as much as I have. Myra J and Stephen Hill, the best rapper uppers and drinkers, from what I can tell.
Caught me on a dry week. That's what's so funny. Anyhow,
can't tell you how many times the man has said that. So thank you all very much. Tomorrow is George Wallace Day, and so we will have George, and he is just over the moon, as you might imagine, with the events of the day. He's so happy. He said, okay, Florida, he's all yours now. That was the last thing he texted me this afternoon. So I thank you guys. I look forward to talking to you next week, and we will see you all tomorrow on What You Need to Know here on Facebook and YouTube Live. Thanks, everybody. See ya.